Hello, everybody. Jack Jackson here, Manufacturers Daily, and it's Friday, May 8th. And I'm just going to talk about one topic today. We're going to talk about pivoting to Europe, and for anybody of you that are primarily exporters like I was, that was always been on the agenda for the government, for years and years, which we tried, and I could give you my story and the good, the bad, and I won't call it ugly. I'll call it challenging. It's challenging, all right. So the question nobody in government is answering honestly is if your business is 80 or 90% like I was, and should you really be trying to sell to Europe? We're going to talk to the SME crowd, the small medium enterprises. What are the real barriers and the 5 strategies that may work for any of you that are like us, U.S. dependent Canadian manufacturers? We were dependent on the U.S., so dependent that I had to sell the company to a U.S. firm. So, all right, let's get into it. So the government says let's diversify to Europe. Well, I tried it. It's here's the challenges. It's not one country. Sorry, it's 27 different languages, different currencies, different time zones. These relationships take years to build. A custom system that makes the U.S. border look simple because, you know, it's easy. We all talk English in North America. Well, talking to somebody in Louisiana is different than talking to somebody in New York. That's different than talking to somebody in Seattle. But it's all the basic same language. It's simple. Currency's simple. The world is based on U.S. dollars. Nobody, fights you on that. And easily we're accepted very easily in the U.S. Being a Canadian going down there, they don't even ask. And then they go, "Oh, you're a Canadian? Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's great. I love you guys." So, going over to Europe and doing this, it was a lot of time. We had suppliers in Paris, England, Germany, and it would just get supply products from there, and then let alone, of course, always had inquiries to sell our products because we were a very niche style business that we ran, that we manufactured here, and we always had inquiries and talked to people. And since I was over there meeting suppliers, I would meet customers or representatives or distributors. Depending on which way you want to. And I tell you, it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. And to be honest, I need to focus on selling and buying. So I just didn't have time. It was so much easier just to go back across the border and pick up business than try to deal with all these nuances of the European. Not that I'm saying it can't happen. It's just it's a lot of work for a small business. We were less than 10 employees, because most of the business we had we contracted out. Our fabricating was contracted. Our services were contracted for. We just basically assembled and worked with our fabricators, of course, in the metal and everything. We did a lot of our service work, of course, was we had to train and teach and keep on top of everybody. But we couldn't cover North America from a central office in the Niagara region. So over time, we originally started way back when they're small with our own employees, but it was easy to get across the border then. And of course, that went away on 9/11, and we had to start diversifying and contracting. So let's see what else today. We're going to look at the data here, right? So Canadian SMEs or businesses under 500 employees employ 63% of Canada's private workforce, about 8 million people. And right now, more than half of the manufacturing businesses say that they're being negatively impacted by the tariffs, and 63% of them say they have higher expenses. So yeah, yeah, we got our expenses were so high we were negative profit. So when the government says diversified to Europe, they're not talking they're talking simplistic, but they're not talking details. So as I said, it's a 2 to 3 year investment of your time. trade show attendance, local agents, product certification, and the border itself on each one and how that works. It's a strategy for a business that has long-term success. It's a long runway. It takes a lot of resources, and but it's not a survival for shops right now that are facing margin pressure and sales pressure and expenses. This is not going to be a switch like a light switch that you're going to change tomorrow. It's a long term. So does it actually work? Here are 5 realistic options that were researched and given to me to say, one, first of all, you got to get all your CUSMA documentation 100% right. Right now, even the U.S. buyers are starting to make sure that everything is 100%. So you can't do anything until you get that locked down. Of course, we can help you on that. If you need a 30-minute free consultation on the phone, we can help walk you through and explain to you what you need to do. Number 2 is reprice your contracts. Right now, you got to look at what the tariffs are, and unless you can absorb, yesterday I talked about the $600,000 tariff. Company, the mold company, was getting $150,000 tariffs on their orders. Now it jumped to $600,000. I was like, us, there's just no way you can survive. So make sure you reprice it. Look at it interprovincial trade. Ours was we easily sold across North America because we had a niche product. But many manufacturers maybe looking down just across the street over in Manitoba, Quebec, BC, maybe there's already opportunities there we forget about even looking at. So, everything's the same language, same country, same legal system. You don't need a custom brokers, and this could be your first diversification step. Number 4 is there are credits. If you've ever heard of the SR&ED credit, I was part of that way back. So there are, we got to go through the system, but we were successful. I know a lot of other companies were successful and paid for a lot of our travel and our trade shows and our association costs to join a lot of the U.S. Associations that we could, so we could grow our business. We had some good success for that way back, and that would be back in probably 2000s when that was really. But evidently that's up and again. It's returns 35% of your eligible expenditures now. So I haven't been on that program in at least a decade, so I'm not sure exactly how the numbers work. And then number 5 is negotiate importer of record responsibility. The importer of record still pays a tariff, so you could negotiate it with your customer. I didn't. I was trying to just hold on so that my customer didn't walk away. But it's coming more and more evident that there is a tariff, and maybe you negotiate and tell your customer, here's my price, and then you pay the tariff. That might work. So those are the main events for the day today to discuss. Was just the one. Hope you learned something. Hope it helped you. And of course, at all times, if you ever need us, just reach out. It's Jack Jackson, Manufacturers Update. Manufacturers Daily. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.